name is Christine. I work at the Cascades Library. Today we're going to do a DIY craft project together. You know, I like to have a place in my workspace where I can hang notes, or I can hang pictures or fun quotes. And I also like to have a place to put my to-do lists. So a message board is the perfect place for all of those things. And that's what we're going to make today. Here is my example of our message board. So you've got some fun quotes. Here's my to-do list right there. And this is one of my favorite quotes. Let me share. It says, "Spend more time with chocolate." Yeah, that's my kind of quote. So we're going to do this project together. I'm going to let you know the supplies you need, and then we'll go step by step. And I'll also suggest some changes that you might want to do or little embellishments you might want to add. All right, so please remember, anytime during the video, if you want to pause, please feel free to do that, or you can always come back to the video another time once you get all your supplies together. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to hang my message board right behind me. Right there. There we go. All right. What you'll need is pretty simple. First, you'll need a large dinner plate, okay, because we're going to use this to trace around. Then you'll need a piece of cardboard big enough that the dinner plate can fit on. All right, so I've already cut out the cardboard. Okay. You'll also need a piece of fabric, again, big enough for the dinner plate to fit on, and even a little bit bigger all the way around. All right? If you don't have an old piece of fabric at home from a previous project, you can use an old pillowcase or maybe even an old t-shirt. All right? Just ask before you cut up those pillowcases and t-shirts if you can use them for your project. You'll also need a pair of scissors, a marker or a pen for tracing, some duct tape, and some ribbons. I've got some thick ribbons here and also a piece of thin ribbon. All right, so let's get started. Step one, you want to take your dinner plate and put it on that piece of cardboard that you have, and take your pen or your marker and trace right around the dinner plate onto the cardboard. Okay? Next, what you'll do is use your scissors and cut out the cardboard that you just traced on. Okay, so some cardboard is thin, some cardboard is thick. So if it's thick and you're having trouble cutting through it, just ask for help. All right? It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover this. Okay? Once you have your cardboard cut out, you want to lay that on top of your piece of fabric. Or if you chose to use a pillowcase or a t-shirt, all right, lay that right on top. And we're going to take our pen or our marker, and we're going to trace the circle, but a little bit bigger than the piece of cardboard because we're going to fold the fabric over. So we want a little extra fabric around the edge. Okay, so I'm going to just freehand circle around the cardboard, again, bigger than the piece of cardboard. There we go. All right, you see how it's bigger? That way we have some space here, some extra fabric all the way around. All right. The next step is to cut out the circle you just drew on your fabric. All right. You're going to take your scissor and just cut all around. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Because we're going to fold that over, and it's going to be in the back, and you won't even see the edges. All right. So let me get that step done, and we'll come back and move on. All right, we're back, and we have our fabric cut out and ready to go. What I also did is I got a bunch of pieces of duct tape ready and cut for the next step. So if you can see, I've got all pieces of duct tape along the table here ready for me because as I fold the fabric over your cardboard, I want to be able to do that quickly without having to go back and cut a piece of tape every time I need it. So I've got them all ready to go. So just a little craft tip that might help with the process. All right, so I've got my cardboard on top of my fabric, and we're going to simply take our fabric and fold it over the cardboard and tape the fabric onto the cardboard. Okay, so I'm going to fold the fabric, maybe a little fold, another fold here, and then the fabric creases a little bit, and then I'll place a piece of tape. There you go. So we're just going to continue all the way around. Fold, we got fold again, and we'll crease, and then we'll tape. There we go. So we're going to continue all the way around. And you know, I love to find craft projects in all the craft books that we have here at the library. I got some here, I've got some here. But what I also like to do is take those ideas, take those instructions, and then I change it just a little bit, depending on what I might have on hand as far as materials, depending on whether I want to change the look just a little bit. And I think that's a great idea to show your own creativity. Take that project you see in a book and you can change it just a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm using duct tape to get the fabric onto the back of our cardboard. For the project I found in the book, it suggested using fabric glue, which is perfect, but it takes a little while longer to dry. So I thought, well, what else is really sticky and can help me get the fabric onto my cardboard? And I thought duct tape would be another great way to make our fabric stick. So I took that idea, I changed it a little bit, and we will have the same result. We'll just have duct tape on the back instead of using fabric glue. All right, so I'm just gonna press everything down. Make sure that tape is sticking to the fabric and sticking to the cardboard. All right, let's turn it over and see. So there we go. We've got it covered in the fabric. So the next step is to add some ribbons, okay? So I've got some ribbons already cut out. I have some thick ribbons like I showed you before, right there, okay? And I also have a piece of thin ribbon right here. So I'm going to use the thin ribbon to make a loop on my board so that you can hang it on a wall or maybe next to your bookshelf. All right, so cut another piece of duct tape. So I'm going to use my ribbon and make a little loop, just like this. See? A little loop there. All right, pick that up, flip to the back, and I'm going to tape my loop right onto the back with another piece of duct tape. Right like that. So now you have a loop to hang your board. All right, and now this will help us see where the top of our board is, right? Because when you hang it on the wall with your loop, up here is going to be the top, and that will help us determine where we put the larger ribbons on our board. Okay, so let's get ready for the next step. All right, we're back and ready for the last step. Okay, so I've got 3 pieces of ribbon cut out, and this ribbon is a little wider, which helps to have your notes and your pictures stay on your board. Okay, so having wider ribbon is helpful. If you don't have this kind of ribbon, you can use yarn or maybe some string. That will do just fine as well. Okay, I cut out 3 pieces of ribbon. You can cut out more if you'd like. This is another step that I changed a little bit from the project I saw in the book. So in the book, the project suggests that you crisscross your ribbons back and forth, okay? And you are welcome to do that. That would look lovely. That would look wonderful. But I like my ribbons to kind of go in different directions on my board. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got the top of my board, that's where the loop is. And we can decide where to put the first ribbon. At the top of the board, the top of my table here. Let's see, I'm gonna put the first ribbon towards the loop, but kind of crisscross a little bit, a little slanted. So I've got that. I'm gonna turn it over, okay? While I was getting the ribbon cut, I also cut some extra pieces of duct tape ready to tape my ribbon onto the back of the board, okay? So I've got that ready. All right, so there's our first one. All right, let's see. Let's take my other one. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do it slanted this way, towards the middle, one side towards the middle, and then one side maybe towards the bottom a little bit. Okay, hold that with my fingers, turn my board over, and we'll just tape that onto the back. And you can make your board colorful with patterns. You can make it plain, like mine is yellow, but the ribbon has patterns. So that's really nice too. Use your own creativity to make the colors the way you'd like them. All right, so I've got one more piece of ribbon. I'm going to crisscross it with this ribbon here so that I have a little cross here, little X. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna flip it over, tape that onto the back. Okay, make sure everything's stuck down with that sticky duct tape. There we go. And let's see. And here's my board. All right, and I have some suggestions for you on ways that you can add your to-do lists and your pictures and your fun quotes. Do you have a quote about chocolate too, like I do? Or is it just me? So you choose whatever quotes make you happy and would make you feel good. But I have these little clothespins here. Okay, they're teeny tiny. And you can use those on your ribbon and then hang up whatever you'd like. Okay, so I've got a couple of them. I'll put one over here. There we go. But you know what you can also use is a paper clip. Okay, use a large paper clip or a small paper clip, and that just goes right on the ribbon like this. And then you can slide your message or your notes or your picture right onto the paper clip there. Okay, another idea is that you could possibly add some buttons onto the ribbon if you'd like. Okay, or maybe like where they cross right here would be a nice place for a little button. All right, so just some other ideas to make your board personal to you, make your board the way that you would like to see it. All right, so thank you for joining me. Use your own creativity to make your board. Just use these simple steps that we did together as a base, and then you add your own ideas and creativity to it. All right, and I encourage you to visit our library website at library.loudoun.gov to find other DIY projects that you might enjoy doing. Again, thank you for joining me, and have fun being creative.